If you're not having sex right now, you're aging faster. Damn, I need a wife. My name is Dr. Shuen, a board-certified medical geneticist who helps people live longer and healthier lives. And in this video, I'm going to be going over why you need to have more sex so that you can live longer. Yes, sex scientifically makes you live much longer. Studies have shown that men who orgasm 2 times a week had a 50% reduction in all-cause mortality compared to men with less frequent sex. This translates to about 2 to 8 years of extra life. But before you run off to the bedroom, just a heads up, it's not a universal thing where all forms of sex lead to a longer, healthier life. There are nuances. So strap in and learn more about the 3 main reasons why sex leads to living a healthier lifespan and how you can use that to your advantage. The first reason why sex helps you live longer is that sex causes your brain to release a variety of chemicals that are beneficial for longevity. You know those feel-good vibes you get during and after sex? Those chemicals don't just make you feel better, they actually help to make you live longer. How does this work and what chemicals are these? Well, your brain releases a variety of hormones and neurotransmitters from a small section of your brain called the pituitary gland. During sex and after orgasm, this gland and the endocrine system releases a powerful cocktail of beneficial hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, prolactin, testosterone, and estrogen. Quite simply, all of these chemicals help to lower your cortisol levels and promote some form of positive emotion, like relaxation and bonding with your partner. If you've ever had sex before, that's why you feel so good and fall asleep so fast. And sleep, like we all know, is essential to your health and recovery. But how does this crazy cocktail of post-sex hormones actually help you live longer? Well, oxytocin is known as a love hormone, which is associated with bonding and causes a calming effect on the nervous system. But it is also associated with lower inflammation and better cardiovascular function. Endorphins are natural painkillers and act on opioid receptors to lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone linked to inflammation and chronic disease. Dopamine is the brain's reward system linked to motivation and pleasure, but is also associated with neuroplasticity, which may preserve cognitive function. And prolactin is released after orgasm. In men especially, prolactin helps to induce sleep, and sleep is foundational to hormone regulation and cellular repair. And finally, testosterone and estrogen are increased with sex, and this helps to maintain muscle, bones, and blood vessel health. All of these hormonal effects support brain health, immune function, cardiovascular protection, and restorative sleep, all of which are linked to longevity. So if you want to live longer, make sure you don't leave him or her hanging out with bad sex and no orgasm, because the whole package is necessary for all of these life-prolonging beneficial chemicals. Also, remember to cuddle after sex to get that extra prolactin and oxytocin boost. But beneficial chemicals aren't the only reason why sex helps you live longer. The next reason sounds like a joke, but trust me, it isn't. The second reason why sex helps you live longer is that it decreases men's risk for prostate cancer. But guys, it's only if you ejaculate. I'm sure all the guys out there aren't complaining here, but it's true. A study from Harvard in 2016, where 32,000 men were followed for almost 2 decades, showed that men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had a 20% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated just 4 to 7 times a month. This finding was further supported by similar studies in other countries. Now, this isn't an official doctor's recommendation that you have to finish that many times per month, but the studies do seem to suggest that ejaculating more is beneficial to men. So how does this all work? Well, you have to understand that the prostate is a small walnut-sized gland that sits just below the bladder and surrounds the urethra, the tube that drains urine out of the bladder. It is a crucial part of the male reproductive and sexual system because it produces a significant amount of seminal fluid, the stuff that you ejaculate. But even before you ejaculate, the seminal fluid that it produces is full of enzymes, proteins, and minerals that nourishes the sperm, helping them to survive and remain motile. It's this organ that helps your sperm stay alive and perform its ultimate duty of reaching the egg during fertilization. This is a super important organ for the male reproductive system and one that is most susceptible to cancer. In fact, prostate cancer is the most frequently diagnosed cancer in men in many parts of the world, including the United States and Canada, with 1 in 8 men being diagnosed with the condition in their lifetime. In 2024, it accounted for 22% of new cancer cases overall. Now back to the Harvard study. The reason why men showed a lower risk of prostate cancer is that it's thought to flush out potentially harmful substances like carcinogen. However, guys, just remember to supplement with some zinc, which is concentrated in seminal fluid if you're ejaculating 21 times or more a month, because there's about 1 to 3 milligrams of zinc present in the average ejaculate alone, and we need about 11 to 30 milligrams of zinc per day depending on how sexually active we are. So zinc is extremely important not only for sperm health, but also for many vital organs and functions of the body, including DNA repair, wound healing, testosterone production, and thyroid hormone production. So eat your zinc-rich foods like oysters, or if you're a vegan, hemp and pumpkin seeds. For vegans, just make sure that you soak or sprout your legumes and seeds before eating, because it helps reduce the risk of phytates that bind to zinc. It increases the absorption of those minerals, allowing you to increase your zinc levels. And don't forget to avoid taking calcium and iron supplements, which can compete against zinc. Now for the ladies, unfortunately, there's no direct link with more sex and lower cancer risk. But hey, mental benefits aside, a reduction in cancer for your man is a thing that can be celebrated. So ladies, at least one of you can have less cancer. That's a win, right? But for both the ladies and men out there, the next reason why sex helps you live longer applies to both of you, and is probably the most meaningful of all the ways sex helps you live long. Now, the other benefit of more frequent sex is, of course, the cardiovascular workout. Sex is incredibly beneficial for your overall heart and brain health, especially if your sessions last a while. Yes, that means all of the men and women out there, try to get more of a workout out of your sessions. For example, it's estimated that sex burns on average 4.2 kilocalories per minute for men and 3.1 kilocalories per minute for women. If you can last 20 minutes, that's about 85 to 120 kilocalories, or about 20 minutes of a brisk walk or 10 minutes of jogging. Come on, who prefers walking over some steamy time? While sex doesn't replace a good workout from running and lifting weights, all of the same cardiovascular benefits from a good workout apply to couples having regular sex, including improvements in heart, brain, and blood vessel health. These improvements come from the production of certain compounds released during sex, including nitric oxide, which helps to dilate blood vessels, bringing more oxygen and blood flow to down there, but also to other areas of the body like the brain, heart, and muscles. In addition, inflammatory markers like CRP, C-reactive protein, are also decreased, and inflammation is the source of all things that age the body. Regular sex is also known to increase brain-boosting compounds like BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a hormone that increases memory centers in the brain, and lowers stress hormones like cortisol, both of which help prevent dementia. Bonus points if you can achieve orgasm, which activates 30 different brain regions according to functional MRI scans, and this should protect your brain from cognitive decline. In fact, a study involving 6,833 sexually active older adults found that there was a positive association between those who had regular sex and IQ tests, even after controlling for physical activity and general health. Perhaps because sex and achieving orgasm activates brain centers in other ways exercise and Sudoku can't. So overall, sex increases your lifespan by releasing beneficial chemicals in your brain, reduces cancer risks for men, and improves cardiovascular and mental health. My recommendation as a doctor to you guys and girls, find yourself a loving partner. However, please stay safe in doing so. Catching a sexually transmitted infection like HIV would be extremely bad for your health and longevity. If you ever meet the one, never let him or her go, because you both stand to benefit from many years of oxytocin, lowered prostate cancer risk, brain and cardiovascular benefits. And guys, it's not just about the orgasm, it's about connection too. So remember to cuddle and get that oxytocin boost. And of course, for our single guys and girls out there, don't despair. Sex bots are just around the corner. If you like this video and want to learn more about living healthier and longer, click here to learn more about the benefits of fasting for 7 days, or here for a video that YouTube thinks you'll love. And remember, please like and subscribe and comment down below. I love reading all of your comments. Bye for now.